Okay, everybody, here we are back with another one. Another episode, another pod. My voice was even saying,
it's another.
I didn't even mean to, but I was doing it very radio DJ-ish. Hey, everybody, welcome back to WKRPQ. Is that too many letters?
I don't know.
I think it's 4.
I think it's 4. I think you got it. Yeah.
KRPQ, home of the Max birthday hour, or I don't know, whatever.
What just happened?
I don't know, but anyway, out of the radio DJ voice. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to episode number 47 of Tackling Tacos, a fishing podcast. We love doing this. We love talking with you, to you every week. And we got some stuff to go over this week. I would highly suggest, I don't always say this, because,
Go ahead now.
Go ahead now. There's really 2 main ways that people will sort of intake podcasts, right? And it's like not, I'm not talking platforms like
Apple or
Spotify, whatever, but it's really like 2 main means, which is now video, which obviously has audio, or just audio. That's right. And I've always been more of an audio guy, like driving. Nate's always been more of a video guy, but I'm going to suggest on this one that you watch this one. And there's kind of a reason, which you may already tell, but we're not going to talk about it. What was that?
I just went,
Well, we're not going to talk about it yet, but obviously we're going to get to it. So this is episode 47. Lola and I are here in lovely Strum, Wisconsin, which actually this time is sort of lovely, like weather-wise.
It was like 60 and sunny today.
Yeah.
The kids were biking and playing outside and
we
jumping
fishing,
on the trampoline.
actually, on the river.
Into the park.
Yeah.
And we went to Guag and Roll.
Of course.
Favorite.
It's sort of like almost like normal now. Like we're keeping that place afloat, like happily. Yeah. Happily keeping them afloat. Food is so freaking good there. But yeah, for being like super early March, it's been absolutely beautiful here. This is sort of like Bass Talk Live, Mark Jeffries style stuff. Start off the episode with weather talk.
All about the weather, yeah.
Yeah, it's just unusually warm here. So how's it been there in Davenport, Iowa, Nate?
Man, it's been the last couple of days has been, about the same. It's just gotten better and better each day. I think it was 70 and sunny today, a little breezy, but hey, when it's 70 degrees, you'll take it,
Seriously.
especially March, 2nd, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah, it's almost weird. Speaking of March 2nd, so 2nd, watch this. Okay. This transition is about to be so good.
Oh my gosh, I'm nervous.
It's March 2nd, and we're currently in the 2nd Bass Elite tournament of the year.
That was slick.
Yeah, so we've already said it once on the last episode. Again, huge shout out to the local homie, Pat Schlopper, for finishing 3rd last week on Toledo Bend in Louisiana. And then shout out to, I've heard his name said 37 different ways.
Oh.
Koyoya Fujita, but it's like Kyoya. I've heard Koya quite a bit. I've heard Kaya, and then Dave Mercer said Kaya Fujita, which I feel like Mercer, as the MC, would probably say it right. Like he's probably asking him like backstage, like, how do I pronounce this?
Fujita, how to say it.
We should. I mean, we could try to have one.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
It'd be the shortest podcast ever. He doesn't speak hardly any English, so it'd be, I guess we could have his translator, but then or it'd be the longest podcast ever, because it'd be 2 answers for everything. But, huge shout out, respect to Kaya Fujita for sacking him up on Toledo Bend. And then with it being the 2nd one, I wanted to get to this Lake Fork in Texas, which is, there's so many things about Lake Fork that to me don't make sense for how good it is as a fishery. Number one, there's tournaments on Lake Fork like every day of the year, like 306. I mean, it's crazy how many tournaments there are. Number 2, it's only, what is it? 40,000 acres?
It's not very big at all.
I mean, that's a big lake, but it's not big for how it's being fished. It's definitely one of the smaller lakes that gets just pounded. And then, it has the Texas state record for largemouth, which is like just under 19 pounds caught in like.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, it's a monster. 19 pounds. Yeah, it's
what?
When I caught a 10-pounder in Georgia, and it sounds obvious, but it's not really that obvious until you see them. A 10-pound bass is a different creature than an 8-pound bass. Like visibly, obviously, when you see it with your face, it's
like I know.
It's just a different thing altogether. It's not like, oh, he's a little bigger than an 8-pounder. Everything about it's different. The mouth size, the eye size, the head, everything about it. The 10-pounder is a different animal. To go almost 19, I think I would
pretty much double that. Yeah.
I mean, God, I think I would just be scared almost. Not scared of the fish, but like scared to lose it once I see it jump or something. I mean, I think I would just go into meltdown mode. I don't know, but Lake Fork is incredible. And here's a couple crazy things about the Lake Fork Derby that's happening right now. Not super hard to do the math. So Trey McKinney, shout out Trey McKinney.
Shout out.
Super young dude, stick, humble, seems really sincere, absolute hammer of a fisherman. Like he just turned 19 on Monday.
Oh.
Yeah, day one of practice for
day one of practice. Boy turns 19 for his second ever pro level derby. He's winning right now with 97 pounds, I think it is, through 3 days. So consider that, right? Just do the math. So you bring your best 5 for 3 days. That's 15 fish. 97 divided by 15 is somewhere around 6.4 something. So for 15 fish, he's averaging almost 6.5 pounds per largemouth.
Crazy.
Absolutely nuts.
That math you did was real nice.
What?
Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if that's more ridiculous or the fact that tomorrow, which is Sunday, Championship Sunday, the top 10 anglers fish to see who's going to win. And there's 5 rookies in the top 10.
That doesn't make sense.
Insane.
That's wild. 5
it doesn't make
rookies
sense. Yeah.
Fishing in the top 10 in the second ever Elite Series event.
How exciting.
It's so exciting.
Can you imagine?
It's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
1 and 2 are both rookies.
Like, 1 and 2 are both first time. And then who else is in that? Who many people, I never doubted his chops as a fisherman, but I could never tell before if I really liked the dude, didn't like the dude, and now I'm full blown a fan and I do like the dude. But who else is in that top 10, Nate?
For rookies or just like the
he's a rookie too. He's a rookie too.
Ben Milliken.
Yep.
Shout out the dude. For real, like
people are like, oh, he's just a YouTuber. And he's a gimmicky YouTuber. He's a clickbait title, clickbait thumbnail YouTuber. He can't fish. And then he goes out and fishes in the opens, which is what, 220 boats per tournament. I mean, it's an absolute nonsense number.
Yeah. Max Field's like 225, and
225.
Most every tournament pulls that. So
225 boats per derby. So like, last year fishing in a lot of local derbies and stuff that me and Nate fished in, there's 25 to 30 boats. So just add another 200.
Insane. I can't.
And he's got a what does he have to get in top 9 for that, correct? To qualify for the elites. So then you have to finish top 9 of those 225. And it's like, okay, well, all right. So he made it through the qualifying round. He's still an amateur though. Like the boy still can't fish. Top 10s last week on Toledo Bend. Was he top 5 last week?
He might have been. Yeah,
he might have been top 5. And I don't know where he's going to finish, but now he's fishing Championship Sunday again this week. So 2 top 10s, first 2 Elite Series ever for a guy who's just the dude's a hammer. The dude can absolutely fish. So like maximum respect to that feller for, going out there and like, there's not too many other sports, I think, where it's like put your money where your mouth is. Like you either walk it or you know what I'm saying? That there's no other, you can't hide behind the team and say, oh, the coach wasn't calling my play, or that wasn't a good pass that he threw, or like you catch him or you don't. And he's going out there and just shutting up the critics, like one derby after another, like holy mastacholi.
Yeah. It's impressive to watch. I'm really excited to see him in that real like cold water environment in the classic that he's going to fish. Here coming up on Grand. So I'm excited to see that. I think that'll be a fun one to watch. There's so many great anglers that are about to fish that. So I'm stoked for that. And like you said, shout out to that guy because man, he is showing up.
Yeah, he's doing the dang thing for sure. So today, going back a little bit, when Lola and I were at the park with our kiddos in downtown Eau Claire, and then we were fishing in the river right there, and we didn't catch anything, but in that area of the river, what is that, the Eau Claire River? or the Chippewa.
Chippewa
I don't know where we were on it, but there's a ton of smallmouth in there. So it's not just a thing where we're goofy. You can actually catch some pretty big brown bass.
Lied to me. He's like, Mom, I caught 2 pike that were like this big, and I caught a bass. And I was like, what? And he's like, nah, I'm just kidding. I was like, you're a jerk. You're a jerk.
That's awesome. So as we're there, we get a, and I actually, one of us was throwing a Giltech swim jig. I get a text from Brian Schwaller, the owner of Giltech and Hook and Arrow Supply Co. One of our sponsors, hookandarrowsupplyco.com. Check them out. I'm telling you, their swim jigs are absolutely, man, it's a big word, but they're flawless.
Oh my gosh.
They're just so good. They just, everything about them, from the keeper to the hook size, the strands on the skirt, the weight, the paint, the eyes, the big old eyes, his swim jigs are flawless. Anyway,
and not only swim jigs, if you're into, you know, Ned rigging or flipping tubes, he's got all kinds of like really dope stuff that's well thought out. So
and he's got some stuff jigs too. Not to was it? Wow, which one is it? Nope.
Oh my!
A little mystery. He's got a couple new things he's getting ready to roll out that I have a small package of. Nate's seen it, but he hasn't gotten a package yet of some new stuff he's got coming out, where it's like this small modification on something everybody uses, and it's brilliant. I'm talking about like
I forgot about that until you just brought it up. Like that I can't wait to get those. It's
just brilliant. It's so simple and smart. Like, why didn't nobody else do this yet?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's just a well thought through guy. So please make sure you check him out. Anyway, he's also a super handyman. And today he was working on his cabin, his house that he's building up in I don't remember where it is. Wakapanekinaki. It's up north. It's up north of Green Bay, but he's working on his house. And I had the text. I just look at it, but he fell off the roof and either landed sideways on a sheet of plywood or fell off the roof, and then the sheet of plywood fell and landed on him.
Either way.
But either way, he thinks he broke like 3 or 4 ribs.
Oh my gosh. You already told me this, but hearing it again is so bad.
And I'm like, we're at the park. I'm texting him back. I'm like, right now? He's like, yeah, dude, what the heck, man? Oh, well, I guess I'll have to sit down for like a couple hours. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Just happened.
Like, dude, I've broken ribs like way back in the day playing football. You can't laugh. You can't cough. You can't turn. You can't bend over.
You can't do much of anything.
You can't do anything. It just rocks your whole body.
A lingering pain.
Yeah. So anyway, Brian,
poor guy.
We care about you. Get better. Yeah. Take a couple days off, man. Sheesh. I mean, that's
not just a couple hours. Take a couple days.
Get you a couple weeks.
Blows in. Yeah.
And so, Lola, tell us about Grizzly coolers. Tell us about Kenai stuff. Speaking of sponsors,
what you want to know? How great they are, and versatile, and the colors. Love it all.
Yeah.
I just used my Kenai thermos. Is that what it's called? What is it called? The no, wait. The coffee thing is called a tumbler. When I think of a tumbler, I think of like a cup. Is that wrong?
Yeah, isn't that what you're talking about?
With the lid?
Yeah, don't you call it a tumbler, Nate, that you always use?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Apparently, I don't know.
I think this is the Kenai 20-ounce tumbler, and
okay.
Yeah, I drink.
I love it. I have it in the white color. What is that called? I don't know, but I love it. The tumbler.
Yeah, the white tumbler.
Yeah. Yes, I love the white tumbler very much. I had tea out of it the other day. I had coffee.
Yeah.
The next day, it was great.
Yeah. Awesome parts. Made in America.
Made in America.
Super well made. Just the thing about I was looking at Grizzly's website the other day, and Nate, I'm sorry, I know you were looking at a couple new things to get, and I keep on forgetting to holler at our reps from Grizzly and Kenai because I'm an idiot. But I was looking at their website, and like what I really like about Grizzly is and Grizzly and Kenai. Kenai is a line made specifically for anglers, made by Grizzly in Decorah, Iowa. But one thing I really like about their stuff is that they don't make 12,000 products.
Yeah.
They make like a few things really well. And the stuff they make is like really intentional.
Yes. Simple and intentional. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I like that.
Don't you think, Nate? Like they don't have like, here's a 31 quart cooler and here's a 34 quart cooler and here's a 20-ounce tumbler and a 21 1/3 ounce. Like it's the stuff they make is very specific for like actual usage, and you can beat the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Like the coolers are made super well. The tumblers are made super well. We have that. We have a couple of those Grizzly screw off cap, like water bottles. It's got the little
kids love those
built-in grippy hand things like a grizzly bear. And I mean, I've dropped those out of my truck 15 times, and they don't even look like they've been used. And they
15 times, honey. What are you doing?
I like to drive with butter on my hands. And then when I get out of the truck, it's a little awkward, but it smells good, and my hands are moisturized.
Oh,
yeah. What typically happens for me is I'll jump in the truck, and instead of putting in the cup holder where I'll throw it in the seat, and then by the time I make it to wherever I'm going, I've hit the brakes a little too hard at least once, and it's gone bang off the dashboard onto the floor, and it's been rolling around for exactly, they're rolling around for the last 5 miles, and I mean you can't tell at all. Like it is really quality made, and like I love that little grip bottle thing. Yeah,
and one of my favorite things about that thing is I'm I don't know, maybe I'm just a slob, I'm not sure, but like I'll fill it up with water and I'll drink half of it like while I'm at work, or I'll drink all of it and then I'll refill it or whatever, and then I'll forget that I have it for like a week, and I come back and the water's still ice cold in it. Like it's like people who find McDonald's French fries under their chair like a year later, and they look exactly the same, except for this is like actually good.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, anyway, check them out.
Salty fries do sound good right now.
Yeah, grizzlycoolers.com. Use the code WCB. You'll get 10% off your whole order, which is pretty amazing. WCB. That's the code to enter in at checkout. Pretty dope stuff. We are going to get to our guests here in just a second. We're really excited to have Sarge Upchurch of Sarge's Custom Rods, recommended to us by Stinky Pants, who was kind of an unknown gem to us. So now he's like a friend. And we talk semi-regularly. He makes some great stuff, and he was like, hey, you should have this guy Sarge on. He makes some killer rods. Cool dude. So we're going to bring him in just a second. But the other thing is our sponsors. We got a new one.
Oh my God.
And we're very excited.
We got a new sponsor?
We got a new one. You may not be able to see it because you got them shades on your face.
Right. That might be what it is.
Moving back and forth like Ray back there, like Stevie Wonder, just rocking the dude. Can somebody please justify for me the one time that Stevie Wonder played at like the Grammys or whatever? I think it was with Justin Bieber, and then they all went off stage and left Stevie out there.
Oh my God.
That was like, just left him on stage.
And like somebody come get
him. Just smiling ear to ear on stage for a hot minute. But anyway, our new sponsor that we are so excited and honored, honestly, like to be a part of the team is Loophole. Loophole Optics. Obviously, anybody who knows anything about, we can take these off now if you want. I might keep mine on to be cool. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so bright now.
Oh
my! Should I just leave them like
just put them back on? Yeah, looking. Huh? That looks good. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Nate's got the one on the side. Me and Lola's.
Oh yeah, that looks
like
good.
Just the logo on the arm.
So cute.
Yeah,
they're cool. They're so awesome.
But if you know anything about hunting, you know about Loophole. They've been making absolutely killer top level scopes for literally over 100 years. Everything they do is made in America, from the scopes to binoculars to the sunglasses, and their sunglasses team is stacked.
Yeah, starting
with this feller, friend of the show, Brandon Polinick,
the man.
John Cox is Loophole. Stetson Blaylock is Loophole. Yeah. There's a few other dudes, like top level dudes, because think about it. If a company has 100 years of experience of making like the best scopes, best optics you can buy, and then they start making polarized sunglasses, they're going to kill it.
Yeah.
It's not like they're making couches and then they when you look through them, so like today when we were down at the river, there was a couple times where I was talking to the boys and I'm like, hey, if you look past that little group of rocks, you can see like a little deeper cut right there. You can see the different color. And they're like, where? I'm like, right there.
Is Dom wearing this?
No. Oh, okay. And they were like, I don't see it. I'm like, right there. And they're like, I can't, all I see is reflection. And I was like, what? I forgot. I'm not trying to do a fake plug. I literally forgot I had them on. I took them off and I was like, holy crap. Like it was just straight mirror, like just glare. You put them on, it's like
oh, look,
just cuts through. Yeah. So we're really pumped to be working with Loophole. And one cool thing about them is they want to give us some glasses, some sunnies, some shades, some performance eyewear to give away.
Performance eyewear.
Yeah. Not sunglasses, performance eyewear. Yeah. They want to give us some to give away, which is really dope. Cause like we gave away, you know, on our socials, which all of our social stuff at Tackling Tacos, we gave away some jigs, some Giltech jigs the other day, just like 3 jigs.
And they were so excited to get them.
Yeah. And like we had like a million comments on it. So like when we give away some sunglasses, some performance eyewear, you know, this should be rad. So I want to read one small thing about Loophole, because when Nate and I used to work at Gainer Mountain back in the 70s, I don't know if you ever took the time to like learn about or like read about polarized sunglasses. For 99% of polarized eyewear, what they do basically is like, if this is looking at Lola again, if you're on YouTube, if this is her sunglasses, they take the sunglasses and they basically apply like a sheet, like a filter to the outside of it to then make it polarized. All polarized means is it cuts through the glare in the water, allows you to see into the water better, and it also super protects your eyeballs from all the harmful stuff coming off the sun. And if you fish, it does actually get magnified as it bounces off the water up into your eyeballs. So it's really important to wear polarized sunglasses, not just for being able to see in the water, but to protect yourself, all that. Anyway, most sunglasses, they slap a sheet on the outside of it. It's polarized, you're good to go. And there's nothing really wrong with that. This is really interesting to me though. Here, read this, would you?
What?
Just this little spiel right here from Loophole about how they do polarization. Okay. It's really rad.
Loophole infused polarized technology uses an advanced manufacturing process that fuses the polarization film in between 2 of the lens layers. This process provides permanent polarized protection that won't scratch or deteriorate over time, so you'll never have to worry about slowing down.
So it's not just on the outside. Like they're
you should have been playing music or something in the background.
Next level. Like it's like next level technology. So they have layers to their glasses, and the polarization is in between those layers.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
So it's not gonna. That's super legit.
Yeah, it's intelligent as crap. It's thought through as crap, and they look dope. They feel perfect. I was telling Nate, like they're a combination of semi-heavy where it feels substantial, but not like too heavy where it's like, geez, these are really, because like when you get glasses that are really light and they feel cheesy, like that's no good. Oh, Nate, show them real quick and we'll move on. Show them the packaging. I told you guys when I used to work at Shields, they have the best packaging of any polarized sunglasses out there. And that was before we were ever part of the team. They just do have it.
Yeah, so you said that, and I just thought oh, packaging, nobody really
or who cares?
Nobody really pays too much attention to that. I unboxed them today when they showed up for me, and the first thing I said was, this packaging is absolutely unreal. Like, like it's so.
So again, switch to YouTube if you're not. Nate's holding up the packaging
for
now,
sure.
so you can see what he's talking about.
Up. So they've got a little cardboard sleeve that goes over the box. And the box itself is like it's hard. Like it's
like a nice
quality.
Box.
It's a quality box. I don't know if anybody's like I don't know if anybody has like Beats like headphones or anything like that. Like it's a quality box like that. Like hard,
thick
cardboard, thick. So this is the inside of the box. Obviously, Be Relentless right there at the top. Proudly displaying.
Oh yeah,
designed, machined, and assembled in America, like everything. So not like we put them together here, but everything else comes from somewhere else. Like this, is, it's all done. It's all done right here. An awesome little brochure on the care and telling you about the glasses, and that's just the box that they came in. Now we get to like the case,
the case, a super legit case.
Like firm,
it's a chunky, nice case,
like
chunky boy.
This is the type of case like if you
it's a beefy daddy.
Mistakenly if you mistakenly step on these, like you're probably not going to break your glasses if for whatever reason.
No, honestly,
the protection.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So nice zipper inside. Obviously, you get a little.
A bag,
suede bag.
Which, by the way, no diss on other companies, but I bought a pair of sunglasses, 2 pairs of sunglasses that I really liked from a company that shall not be named because I don't want to diss anyone. And they were $140, I think, each pair, and that's all they came with was that little bag, that little slip bag. No box, no case, no nothing, just that little slip bag. So I mean,
So even the like harder carry case, like it has like a little like
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
elastic pouch.
like
like a little elastic pouch on the top and the inside if you want to put like lens cleaners or anything like that inside here. Like it's just super legit. I was like, this was the first thing I noticed, like, was the packaging, and I was like, holy cow, like these are crazy legit.
They didn't cut corners.
I put the glasses on and I'm like, man, I really like these. And then I walked outside in the sunshine and was like, holy cow. Like,
they're really dope.
Super stoked. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are so pumped to be rocking with Loophole Optics. Check them out. They're absolutely killing it. I think that was a weird noise my throat just made. I think between the three of us, I think we got 3 different models, some different colors, and really stoked. Actually, when we found out this was going down, I got a hold of Brandon and I was like, hey, I don't want to be all like fanboy.
So let me fanboy for a second.
Yeah, but like those ones you always rock in your videos look really dope. Is it this model? Called the Beck Nara.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, that's them. I was like, okay, thanks, homie. And that's the ones I went with. And
he's like, I'm getting them.
Yeah. I wanted, because I always look dope on them. And then, anyway, so let's keep it moving. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Before we bring in Sarge, and I'm sorry we're taking so long on you, Sarge. Please stick with us. We appreciate the fire out of you.
Absolutely.
We have some really cool stuff coming up. Like, we have some cool episodes coming up, some cool guests coming up, some cool ideas for shows just amongst us coming up. And again, I will reiterate, I think I've said it like 75 times about this podcast. We never wanted this podcast, even though our primary vein of fishing is bass fishing and tournament fishing specifically, but not just that. But we never wanted just that. We always wanted muskie, saltwater, walleye, stinky pants, like this kind of stuff they do, like the inshore stuff, lure manufacturers, like all, not just BASS, but what about other awesome tournament trails, things like that. And so we're really, really excited to announce that we have some really dope guests coming, one of which is sort of like a best kept secret that's not really a secret anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like one of those companies that for a while people would mention it. And I was like, what's that company? But now it's really starting to blow up, which is Great Lakes Finesse. If you've not seen, heard, used Great Lakes Finesse, you must be sleeping under some kind of rock.
Absolutely.
They are making some killer stuff. We have a few packages that we've purchased here. The Great Lakes Finesse, my favorite lure they make, which is the 2.75-inch drop minnow. It's not just, people probably maybe roll their eyes like, oh, Demiki rigging, right? Yeah, hover strolling, what every fisherman's doing right now. But these are dope on a hover stroll. They're dope on a drop shot. It's just a real skinny minnow with like a little bump in the tail. Amazing materials, amazing colors. Anyway, we have their product manager, Dan Miguel, is going to be on the podcast. So that will be really fun to talk to somebody like that. We also have, why does my throat keep doing this?
I don't know, but it's funny.
We also have, I'm starting to get hair under my armpits too. We're also, Nate, give us a couple other names, because you've been doing
under your armpits.
Yeah, where in my armpits. I don't know. Give us some other names, because Nate's been doing a bunch of grinding, contacting people, and a couple of these are really, really exciting. So who else we got coming on, and then we'll bring Sarge in.
Yeah, so I've been doing a little kind of behind the scenes politicking, if you will. Come on the show. Let us interview you, talk about all your greatness and all that good stuff. But one of probably the biggest is probably going to be Brian Latimer. I kind of shot him a message like, hey, we've been fans of yours for a while. What you do, not only in fishing, but in the YouTube game. And on top of that, like the straight up fishing school that he does, like teaching youth and getting them all involved in fishing is amazing. Yeah. So, hey, any interest in coming on? And like, I don't know, a few hours. He's like, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can set something up. No problem. So like, that's amazing. Even just to get a reply from a guy like that's super dope. Another one is a guy that's currently fishing the MLF Invitationals, and he's also a National Professional Fishing League, the NPFL rookie in Cole Harris.
That's so crazy.
He's also awesome dude. I've followed him for a while. He's also known as like the Champlain kid, I believe, because he was originally from like up north area. But he said he's definitely down to do an episode with us. Yeah. And then another one that I'm really stoked for is Ryan Salzman,
that's big.
BPT angler, who's going to be fishing the Red Crest here here soon, actually, on Lake.
Yeah.
I think it's like middle March. So yeah, it's coming up real quick. But he's another one who said he's down to set something up with us. So all ones that I'm really, really stoked on. On top of like you said, Great Lakes fishing, Swait rods. Like, I mean, we have the optics or the eyewear
product line manager from Loophole. He's going to be on, which is really dope. Yes. So like, we talked to them, like our contact, and I was like, do we want to have some Loophole people on? He's like, well, dude, wear the glasses for a while, fish in them for a while, so you're really comfy with them, know about them, know what you like about them, and then we'll have the Loophole guys on so you can actually have a conversation based on experience. I'm like, oh, that's dope. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's genius. So
so a lot of fun.
A lot of cool episodes coming up. A lot of stuff we're really, really stoked on. But this one today, old Sarge Upchurch. I'm excited to talk some inshore stuff with this guy and some custom rod building.
Yep. So again, we learned about this guy Sarge from our new friend. I would absolutely say friend, Jason at Stinky Pants Fishing, and we're excited to, like Nate said, learn about where did Sarge get into fishing. Why is his name Sarge, first of all, which is about Sarge Upchurch. If that ain't one of the coolest names I've ever heard in my whole life, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Why make custom rods? He's making kitchen like cooking videos and stuff. And he's getting on TikTok. He had like 55,000 views on his last TikTok. Yeah. So let's just bring him in, man. Let's talk to the man himself. Ladies and gentlemen, we're excited. We're honored to learn tonight from a fella named Sarge Upchurch. So Sarge, welcome.
Hey, Sarge.
Hey, thank you so much. Man, I really appreciate y'all having me. Thank you very much. This is very new. This is very new to me.
Yeah. You look good. You sound good. So you're doing all right so far.
Right on. No, I've been listening into y'all's intro here. So I'm a Grizzly cooler user myself. I have a giant 460 quart Grizzly that we use at the fishing show every year.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I fill it up. We start conservatively, like 40, 50 cases of beer. I mean, because there's a lot of thirsty people that come to the fishing show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can kind of see it. Like, man, y'all really look thirsty. Come over here. I got something.
Get over here.
That's a great magnet. That's a good marketing ploy right there for sure. And the cooler that you can fit human beings inside of it. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's got forklift strakes.
Yeah.
On the bottom of it. So it's outstanding. It's been part of the Sarge custom rod booth at the fishing show in Houston for 11 years.
Yeah, that's smart. I was going to say 11 years because, I remember it was many years ago when I first saw Grizzly announce that cooler, and I'm thinking to myself, that is such a gimmicky, scammy, whatever. And then I was like, well, actually, maybe it's not. Like a lot of the guys who go way out in the ocean fishing and are throwing huge stuff in it, or for products like shows and whatever. It's actually it's not for everybody, obviously, but it's definitely got its purposes.
Multifunctional cooler. It's been to it. Obviously, it's been in the fishing show. It's been to multiple parties, multiple fundraisers.
Sure.
It's been on a couple of different offshore boats as an extra space for more fish. It's been it's had dead elk in it. It's done a little bit of everything.
It's been around.
It's been around.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Well, you said thank you to us, but we want to say thank you to you for doing this. We're excited to have you on. We're excited to learn from you. Excited to learn about your story, your background, how you got into rod building and all that stuff.
If you like tacos,
if you like tacos, which I'm pretty sure you do. Since our first text conversation, you were like, forget rods, let's talk tacos.
Yeah, tacos, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I mean, however you want to talk about them. We can cover all those bases.
Yeah, I love that. So, so before we get too far into it, just tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into fishing? And I don't even mean like making rods, but how did you start loving being in the outdoors? How did you catch the passion for fishing?
It's actually been a passion of mine since I was just a little kid. As a kid, I played a lot of sports. You know, my parents had me involved. My mom had me involved in sports since I was 5 years old. So, you know, we went, you know, back then we would just go from one sport, you know, seasonally to another. Okay. So from, you know, soccer, football, baseball, basketball. I played everything. I ran track, did all of these things, but the whole time I was always wondering, you know, if the fish were biting.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I love that.
So I spent time, you know, going to ponds before school. I mean, I had buddies that we'd get up really early and go before school just to go try to get our line bent, just when we were kids, you know. So, you know, really just had a passion for fishing just from the get-go, from such a young age. It wasn't until until my later years into adulthood that the two things came together in terms of it being part of my career and making a living in something that I'm passionate about with regards to fishing, and those things converging. Sure. And let me tell you, man, it's been a very happy ride as well.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So you'd mentioned the one question I always get with regards to the name Sarge.
Yeah.
So I got a pair of dogs' names. Okay. So my first name is Rex, and my middle name is Sergeant, and it's military spelling, Serge.
SER. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So my grandfather was a master sergeant in the Green Berets. He served for 27 years, and my mom wanted to name me after him. His name was Howard Chester. So I got really lucky, her tagging me with Sergeant instead of
Howard or Chester. Yeah.
So initially, I mean, I was Rex, you know, kind of coming up as a kid, but you know, I started I kind of get, you know, kids where I found out, you know, people had dogs named Rex. So I decided that I would just, you know, around second or third grade, I just start going by Sarge. So I went by Sarge, and then I found out people had dogs named Sarge. So I was like,
I'm doomed.
Heck with it. I got a pair of dog names. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I love that.
I like, and where are you, Sarge? Where on this map are you?
Oh, man, I'm in the thriving metropolis of China, Texas.
Is that really the name of the town, China?
China, Texas, yeah.
Okay, and where on the map is that? I mean, it's near the coast, yeah?
East of Houston, just outside of Beaumont, Texas.
Okay.
So I'm really close to the Louisiana border.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and my shop is in Nederland, Texas.
Okay.
Which is basically right by Sabine Lake.
Oh, okay.
So I'm right on the Sabine Lake is a saltwater lake right at the border of Texas and Louisiana.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Sabine River.
Fed by the Neches and Sabine rivers.
Yeah. Right.
You know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So I got a boat. So I got a boat ramp just like 8 minutes from the shop. You know.
Wow. Oh.
Yeah.
So you do some product testing out there?
Trout, redfish, flounder. It's right there, right at the fingertips. Bass fishing too. I'm not a bass fisherman.
Okay. Yeah.
So y'all mentioned, so y'all are fans, obviously, of bass fishing, which I really don't know anything about, like very little. But I do know close to home we've had, I guess the Bassmaster series come there to Orange a couple of times.
Yeah, Orange, Texas. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's right by my shop, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They always talk about going to Orange, Texas because of like the culture surrounding it and the crowds that they get and like all the people that come and like flock to the venue as the Elite Series is there. So it sounds like it's an awesome place to be. So.
Well, it's a wonderful place for the outdoors. You know, I mentioned the two lakes that are very prominent lakes in the bigger scheme of things as far as bass lakes are concerned, are right there at our fingertips with Toledo Bend and Sam Rayburn. And then we have such a vast coastal fishery as well. And then to top that all off, the best marshes in America right there in Louisiana. Yeah, so we've got a rich duck hunting community, as well as inshore saltwater fishing, offshore saltwater fishing, and inshore bass fishing, freshwater things as well. So it's all right there, all of it.
Are there alligators?
Oh yeah, we got a lot of those.
Come on.
Yeah,
that's Lola's like #1 fear, and like this has got to be a what, second or third straight episode you brought up alligators.
Well, it's a fear.
It's a bugaboo for sure.
Yeah. So here's a weird thing, Sarge. You might not expect it, but every year I don't know why, in Minnesota,
I don't know why you tell me this.
Yeah, it's like 3 times as many. In Minnesota, like every year they find something like 13 to 15 alligators in the lakes. And in Wisconsin, every year it's like 2 or 3. And I find that to be really, really odd, but 2 or 3 statewide. And I don't know how they get up here in Wisconsin, but every time I bring it up, Lola just like freaks out.
So yucky now.
Yeah.
Well, our passion is inshore saltwater fishing. A lot of my customers is actually wade fishing. So we take the boat, we go to the flats, we jump out of the boat, and then we go for a walk.
Oh,
so there are multiple times in the spring, especially what's coming up. We're coming up on the time of year where we'll run into situations where we're having to stop our wade to stay out of the way of a gator that's protecting her nest up on the shoreline.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
No thanks.
A
mama gator.
Yeah, a few weeks ago we had when we had Stinky Pants on, he was telling us some crazy story. I think he does a similar style of fishing, like the inshore wading and the kind of walking out and whatever. And his stringers that he makes, he said, was it his grandpa or somebody or
it was his dad, but it was his son.
Dad and his son, maybe. So the son's grandpa, obviously. But they had a few fish on a stringer, and the stringers were 8 feet long off their hips or whatever. And then they went into shore, and all the fish were like bitten off by like sharks, and they had no idea. And I'm like, well, that's not really something we have to worry about here, at least. So that's
might have a snapping turtle.
Yeah, that's good. I guess that we don't really have anything scary here.
Yeah, no, that's a regular occurrence in the summertime here for wade fishing. Especially on our beach fronts. We can have a tremendous fishing on the beach front. And sometimes, the shark, obviously the sharks are there. And you'll, if you're not careful, you'll lose your fish off your stringer in a heartbeat.
I'd rather lose my fish than my legs or something.
Yeah, we probably sound so ignorant right now talking. He's just like, this is just part of like the culture, but for us, we're like, oh, sharks.
Yeah. It is. Hey, but Stinky just came out with a bag that you can attach to your wading belt.
Yeah.
So put your fish in the bag rather than put them on the stringer so that they won't get eaten in that situation.
Is that the
stink bag or stank bag?
The stink bag. Yeah, the stink sack.
Stink sack. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I call it a beach bag, and that's what he put on the description of it. He's like, I even added that you can bring it to the beach. I was like, that's right, Jason.
Yeah, he gave us one. We're super pumped about it. They're awesome. His stuff is really well made. It's a good set of gear. Everything he makes, kind of like what we were talking about with Loophole or Grizzly. Like it just seems very intentional. Like very
it's very purpose driven.
Yeah, purpose driven, specific to the technique or the style of fishing you're doing. But
I also feel like it's versatile at the same time.
Absolutely, but I'm just saying it's well made. So it's
for sure. I'm super stoked to use it as like a co-angler bag. Anytime I'm fishing out of a buddy's boat or something like that, I can throw my tackle boxes in there. I can throw a life jacket in there, and take it and huck it on the boat and be good. Yeah, so I'm definitely stoked to use it this year. So.
Absolutely, that's a great purpose for it too. I'm actually going to use mine. I'm going to use mine for my wet wading gear. For my wading boots, my Sims waders, my wading jacket, that stuff in that bag to carry on to another person's boat as well. Absolutely,
super smart. Okay, can we talk tacos, or are we not ready for that?
Come on, what do y'all know about barbacoa or carne asada?
Oh, man.
Oh, boy, we know all about it. We know all about it.
I love it.
Yeah, so do we. Yeah, we absolutely love it. I think it was, like I said, when I lived in Austin, Texas 100 years ago, I had kind of an epiphany on breakfast tacos. And it wasn't that it was just like you can have breakfast tacos. It was like, holy crap, tacos can be more. This is so ignorant. So tacos cute. Can be more than just like ground beef and some shredded cheese and like some lettuce, you know? And then it just kind of opened up my eyes to like all the different stuff you can do with a taco. And Nate and I, Lola, we're all like pretty big fans of barbecue as well. And so you can so easily bring the worlds of barbecue and tacos together. And yeah, we love all that stuff. So tell us, Sarge, what's one of your favorite tacos? Is there a local place you like to go to there in China?
Oh no, there's no tacos in China, brother. There's no tacos in China. There's a lot of quality little places in Houston, and like on my way into Houston, I got a little spot I like to stop at, and Los Reyes, Taqueria, like to stop in there, and then there's a place on my way in. Also in town called Porras in Houston. They've got the best Carnegie Sada, little hole in the wall place. Oh yeah.
The best place.
And then you mentioned barbecue. You know, I mean, you know, on some road trips, we've got a place called Rudy's Country Storm Barbecue here in Texas.
Love
and
it.
they have, man, I stop in there. I love a little spicy chop, potato, and cheese. You know, just keep it simple. Spicy chop, potato, and cheese. It's delicious.
Yeah, smart man. When I go to Rudy's, I always get the brisket wet. You know, get where it's got the more fat on it, like the thicker stuff. Oh my lord.
Oh yeah.
Brisket in a taco too, though. Like you literally take anything you really like eating and put it in a taco and jazz it up a little bit, and now it's like a taco, and it keeps your hand from getting all scuzzy. So like, what a great win, you know.
So tell me about these cooking videos.
Yeah,
I just started that. He made it sound like I'm like I'm really doing something over here, but I did one at Christmas time.
Well, that's
on the suggestion from one of the kids, because we had forgot to make the jalapeno ranch dip. They're like, well, why don't we just do a TikTok? And I was like, well, I've never done one of those. And so that's how it all transpired. Well, at first there wasn't a lot of views on it. I mean, it was kind of cool. I mean, a couple thousand people looked at it after a few days, but then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, it just started like multiplying. And the very first video we ever did had 55,000 views.
That's amazing.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Yeah,
viral.
I think it just speaks to the power of jalapeno ranch more than anything.
It is pretty great. So okay, so let's dive in there.
I slapped together what we call a Sarge sandwich for video number 2. And it really petered out in comparison. You know, I mean, there was no luster on that video. But I have a feeling after we finish this we finish this crawfish boudin dip, there will be a lot of interest in it.
Okay, and tell us again.
I imagine that one's going to take off.
Tell us again what you call this dip, Sarge.
Crawfish boudin dip. This is my wife Angie. This is one of the recipes that she.
No, but what did you call it though? Like, what was the title you told us before we started recording?
Oh, did I give it a title? Did I give it?
You just said.
Did I give it a special name?
You said, "When I dip, you dip, we dip."
Oh yeah. So it's part of our series. Now that we're doing this other dip, I was like, "Oh, we got a series going now." It's the "When I dip, you dip, we dip."
This is so cute.
Yes. Dip.
I remember that song for sure, dude.
That's right. When I dip, you dip, we dip. So at Christmas time, the jalapeno ranch was a huge hit. The Sarge sandwich kind of flopped after that. It was right around New Year's. And then we're going right now because crawfish season's now really in full effect here at home. So we're big crawfish eaters here. Not just the dip that we're making, but just in general. We boiled crawfish is for the months of generally speaking every year. The months of February through May that's like the prime. That is the prime crawfish time. So we put a lot of them down here. There's a lot of rice. There's a lot of rice fields and crawfish farms right here in China.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Wow. It's so funny every time.
It's real. I mean, it's real time. Yes, it really is.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, so I want to focus on a few things you said, if that's okay. Number one, and this is not anything with what you said, it just made me think about it. A bunch of years ago, this is going to sound self-serving, and it's not at all.
You're so cute.
I'm sorry.
Maybe a little.
Maybe. I want everybody to know that I'm a really good.
Sounds like he knows already.
I want everybody to know that I'm a really good person, and I'm about to prove it. Because everybody knows if you do something good, you got to make sure everybody knows you did it. That's the best way. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Brett Favre used to regularly go to like the Green Bay like children's wings of hospitals and like just go hang out with kids, and never told the press, never took pictures. I just think that's really cool. You know, if you're going to do something good, just go do it. Don't tell everybody, which is what I'm about to do.
Okay.
Anyway, so me and a bunch of people from my church in Austin, we went to do Hurricane Katrina cleanup. And I mean, you couldn't have enough people to clean up down. It was so bad. Like you could have sent every church in America and there still wasn't enough people. And so we ended up linking up with this little black church, black Southern gospel church. And they were like, we can't pay you to help us clean up. And we're like, of course not. Like we wouldn't expect you to pay us. Right. And I cannot remember her name, but she was about 4'7", like 90 pounds. Like she looked like she was 400 years old, this sweet little black woman, and in this very sweet like Southern accent, which I'm not even going to try and emulate.
I thought you were.
You know, she said something along the lines of like, we can pay you in food though. And I was like, perfect.
Yes, so got a deal.
Yeah. So one of the meals she made us, we were there for 5 or 6 days and they made us 4 or 5 meals. And then she was like, were any of those meals your favorite? We can, do it again on the last day. And I'm sure you've had it, Sarge, but they made us crawfish etouffee.
Oh yeah.
Holy hell. Oh my. I mean, I'd get fat, but I could legit have that every single day.
That's one of my favorites dishes over at one of our local spots called Floyd's.
Okay.
Over here in Beaumont, and it's called the crawfish half and half. So it's half a plate of fried crawfish tails, and half a plate of crawfish etouffee.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
I'd never even had it before, didn't know anything about it. And it comes out in this little buttery sauce dish with the tails, and little old 70-pound woman like, here's your crawfish etouffee. And I'm like, I love you. Like, I mean, I know that there's an age gap, but if you want to get married, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, okay, so back it up. So give us some details then, Sarge, on the jalapeno ranch. I mean, if it's blowing up on TikTok, how do you make it? Because that sounds like an awesome taco topping.
I was going to say, do you put that on a taco?
Yeah, you should.
Oh, you hit the nail on the head on the fish tacos and the shrimp tacos. We use the jalapeno ranch for that here at the house for those tacos for sure.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, really, it's so versatile. You really can use it for so much stuff, man. Yeah. You can dip so much stuff in, and it's so delicious.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know if y'all familiar with the restaurant chain Chewy's.
Yeah.
So this is to emulate their creamy jalapeno is what it is. The recipe does. So, and it's really simple. It's 1 cup of mayonnaise, and then it's a half a cup of everything else. Half a cup of jalapenos. I like to put a little bit more than that because I like to spice it up,
Attaboy. Same.
And a little jalapeno juice too at the end, little secret sauce, just thin it up a little bit. Half a cup of cilantro, half a cup of sour cream, half a cup of buttermilk.
That's it.
That's it.
Sounds so good.
Man.
1 cup of that, half a cup of everything else.
Half a cup of everything else. I mean, and it's so. I mean, everybody absolutely loves it. If you take it somewhere to a party, there won't be anything left. Like people are going to ask you, how did you make that? Like it really is. Like everybody loves this stuff. It's so delicious. Awesome.
What
you'll find other things to eat with it. Like, hey, let's try.
We got this. We need to.
It's really good. No, it really is.
Do you use like chips or crackers or
like anything? Chips. I like to make some trash bag crackers, from time to time. Just get you a little trash bag, put you an entire box of saltine crackers in the bag, put you some crushed red pepper to taste. If you like it a little spicy, put a lot of crushed red pepper, but put you some crushed red pepper in there and put 1 pack of Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning mix. Yeah. Put that in the bag, and then put 1 cup of vegetable oil in there. Put a knot in the bag, tumble the bag.
Who is this guy? Look at you.
Set the bag to the side and overnight. And then the next day, you've got yourself the most delicious cracker to put anything on. It can be an hors d'oeuvre cracker to put cheese and meat on. It can be for your jalapeno ranch. You can do all kind of things with it. Super cheap way to make a really delicious cracker.
This is amazing.
Awesome. Yeah,
I got it. Awesome. I'm gonna go make some crackers.
Come back out with some jalapeno ranch.
What's the TikTok page where you can find the video?
I don't know. It's my son's page. Canton. I think the page that he put it on might be called Scooter Slick. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, Scooter Slick.
Is it?
Yeah, you can hear it in the background. Yeah, Scooter Slick.
Oh, yeah, Scooter Slick. What is it actually? Is it just Scooter Slick?
Yeah, it's at Scooter Slick.
At Scooter Slick. That's where the jalapeno ranch is at.
Okay. All right, we're gonna find you.
Yeah, anybody listen to this, go look that up, because not only does it sound delicious, but support a friend, you know.
Yeah.
So are you on? So a little bit of a transition. Sarge, and we're gonna get into the rods here. We're gonna talk fishing, I'm pretty sure. But are you on social media for Sarge's custom rods?
I have a Facebook page that I interact with. I don't use social media like I should. I have an Instagram page that I'm just now starting to interact with, that I'm getting my son to really help me with. Everything that I've done really for my business from the start, all of the success and the growth of my business has really strictly been from my customers. I mean, it's been such a customer driven, organic kind of growing method, just a total grassroots effort, all word of mouth. I've never spent $1 on advertising.
Wow.
And I'm about to start year 12 of Sarge Custom Rods. So it's been awesome. It's been a pretty special ride. And I've got a lot of very loyal customers. And I'm still learning a lot too. I'm just getting started. So I've got a long way to go, and I'm just focused on building the best quality product in the most consistent manner that I can, and for my customers, and they certainly have come to appreciate it. They're not cheap. I don't build any rods to achieve some type of price point so that I hope to achieve more customers. That's not what I do. I am strictly building the very, very finest tool that I can build for my customers to do what they love to do. And I'm a fisherman too, man. So I have to, of course, going fishing helps me remind myself of what a special tool it is that I really am building. But I have to do that to remind myself. I get so caught up in the daily activities of me building the rods and just critical of my work that it's nice to hear from how much the customers appreciate the product. And then it's just nice to go out and experience some time on the water and enjoy it myself. So that's really it in a nutshell. I mean, I'm no different from my customers. I love to fish. I spend as much time on the water as I can. Whether it's here with my family or time on the water, those are the genuine experiences of time that I love spending the most. So it's a labor of love. So I love my job. Every bit of it.
Oh, I love that so much.
That's awesome.
Can I just ask about your family? I just want to know. So you said you're married. You have a son. How many kids do you have? Tell us all the things.
Oh man, I got we got a little Brady bunch going on over here at this house. So I've got a stepson here and a stepdaughter, both of which are Maddie she's like fully adulting, but Canton's on the verge of being a full-time adult. And then we have little Sarge too, who's already a full-time adult. So they're all like, Canton just needs to learn. He's got 2 Spanish classes left to graduate from college. Okay. Spanish. So, and he can't take them simultaneously. He's got it. So he's milking it, right? Like he's on the gravy train program. So no, but they're all almost done with school and being full-time adults. So it's a really special time right now over here at our house. some of my time is starting to become my own again. So time on the water happens a little bit more regularly now because of that. So none of my kids are small. They're all older for sure.
Okay. That's awesome.
Do any of them help you in the rod building scene, or in your
no help building rods whatsoever? They don't want to have no part of the building.
Little turkeys.
Now I've got one of them helping me with the social media stuff.
That's good. That's something.
That's a helpful thing.
Yeah. But we've also part owner of a chemical company as well, and we have an insect repellent called Marshland. And I'm gonna send y'all some of that Marshland mosquito spray, and we have it in wipes too, which is really awesome. So you can just pull it out and it's on a wipe, like a Clorox wipe. But
did you say mosquito repellent?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, I don't know what it was last year around our house here in Iowa. They were thick, and I don't know if it was the yard. I don't know if it was I don't know if it was the compost or whatever I put in the grass to make the grass green. But it was wild. So yeah, I'd be stoked to get that.
That's a really smart application of wipe. Smart. Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's good for the dogs too. So like your duck hunters down here in the marsh, you can wipe your dog off with the mosquito repellent in the wipe form a lot easier than you can try and spray them off, with the spray.
That's so smart.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Is it just mosquitoes or gnats too? I know
everything. A lot of flying insects. We have a lot of those gnats and stuff on the water as well. Like you're referring to. Absolutely, it works.
I was gonna say that's a great tool for fishermen of all sorts, I would assume, but especially bass tournament fishermen. Like certain times of the year, man, it's absolutely freaking miserable. You're trying to fish, and even with the net gator on, and your hat down, and your sunglasses, loopholes, hopefully. Hey, plug
performance eyewear.
Sorry, I'm such a dork. But you're still swatting them away, and you're putting on the spray stuff, and then the spray stuff gets on your fingers, or then you get it in your mouth. Or I also use Thermacell sometimes, but that's kind of annoying, putting out the little smoky thing, then putting it away, and then bringing it back out when you move spots. And so a wipe, that to me, that actually makes a lot of logical sense for an angler.
Oh, heck yeah, man. I'll take it in my hat, and I'll just stick me a couple in my hat too. Like if I go off and walk
that's really smart.
on a wave, boom, I got just stick them in the hat. If you need to reapply, just pull one out. Yeah.
You got a lot of hair too, it looks like.
The mosquito, I got a big forehead. Look at that.
Oh, you got a lot of hair. I have no idea why, but I had this vision that you're gonna take your hat off and be totally bald, and you have like dark, thick hair. That's dope. Yeah, you're gonna look like me and Nate.
Right. Yeah.
Take our hats off. It's like, hey, put that back on.
I'm working on a big forehead.
You got that extra 5 head. Yeah, I got that feeling too. Yeah. So let's talk rods, Sarge. I'm always really, really interested for, there's a lot of companies, many companies that start off like Great Lakes Finesse, or even, this is going to sound like a weird one, Shields, Best Buy, companies that are humongous that started off as little grassroots things because what they decided to sell or whatever was something they actually cared about. And then it just, it blew up. But I'm always really curious about, let's say that I'm really into, I don't know, taxidermied alligator heads.
Why do we have that?
Or, I don't know. And so then one day I decide I'm going to start making taxidermy alligator heads. And then it goes really well. I'm always really curious when you're into something, how do you transition into not just being into that thing, but start making that thing or being a part of that business? Do you know what I'm saying? So how did it for you, Sarge? How did you transition from, okay, I like to fish to I'm going to make fishing rods?
Actually, that part of it was done in a kind of a way that it wasn't intentional. That necessarily was the outcome that was looking to be achieved. It was more in a helpful manner. Okay. Excuse me. I helped a couple of friends buy that I went to church with. And they bought a rod company. I was a customer, but I knew the guys, right? And then I kind of was the middleman in the deal. So that's kind of how I got involved in. And I started helping with that business. That help then turned into more of a role. And then After that experience, this is when Sarge Custom Rods, the start of it came about, or the idea of it came about. And it was from a friend who had been a customer for a long time. And I had, just decided that it was time for me to take that ball and run with it. So it was really scary because it was kind of at a crossroad point in my life too. So I had a lot of different changes going on at the same time. I was going through a divorce and Sarge Customs starting all at the same time. Ooh, so Sarge Customs, I kind of always referred to it as my do-over. Yeah, like this is my this is my real life do-over, and it's been such a wonderful ride. And then of course meeting my wife. I mean, my wife that I have right now, Angie. I couldn't do really anything, and that I do without her support. And it's just been, it's been pretty awesome ride this whole thing. So, and the other thing with that aspect of us putting this Brady Bunch together of a family, the kids have gotten to watch this unfold from its infancy together, essentially. So as we grew as a family together, Sarge Custom Rods was growing at the same time. So it's been rewarding in so many different ways.
Sure,
that's
awesome.
So special.
Yeah, it's a cool story.
So, but as far as like the fishing rods are concerned, though, like my product set right now, I'm transitioning all of my blank manufacturing to the United States of America.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
okay.
USA. Nice. So now, all of my products, all of the manufacturing is 100% here, and now that I've got my blank manufacturing here as well, my manufacturing is made in the USA, which I really am really proud to be able to say that. I've got 17 different rod models ranging from 6 foot 2 inches all the way to 8 feet. Some of the longer, more powerful rods are the ones that the bass fishermen tend to gravitate towards that I have. The vast majority, though, of my customers are inshore saltwater fishermen. So all of the rod model names that I have, I do something different, unlike most industry standards where and especially in bass, you see it everywhere. The rod will tell you what you're supposed to use with it, right? Like you got a rod and it says on there that it's a frog rod.
Yeah, frog rod, jerk bait.
Or it tells you, it's a crankbait rod. It tells you what you can throw with it. I am a firm believer in leaving that up to the imagination of the angler. Sure. So all of my rod names, they all each have an individual name that indicates the model. So that model then can be named, called by name by the angler, no matter what they're using the rod for. Right. That's how I learned from the bass guys telling me what applications they're using the rods for to help somebody else. But I still call that rod by its name. All of those rod names are either military lingo or acronyms. So like the rod, like the Freebird, that's a plane bringing soldiers home. Chaos stands for Commander has arrived on scene. Warthog is the big A-10 Warthog plane. Yep. Bohica stands for bend over. Here it comes again. But these are all the different names of the rods. And cool. So there's like an endless supply of those names. For me to use for new rods in the future as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
So I kind of want to get somewhat specific, if you're okay with it, Sarge. In the manufacturing process, how does one go from hanging out with a couple church homies to actually making fishing rods? Like, did you know anything about making fishing rods, putting wraps on, how to seal up blanks, how to do different grips and butts and reel seats and tips and how to keep them straight, spine alignment, all that good stuff? Like, how did you, it's a pretty specific thing. How did you get into it?
Thrown into the fire.
Okay.
That's exactly what happened. I got thrown into the fire. I learned what I needed to learn to help, because I was just essentially helping these guys, right? learned what I needed to do to help, and then that help turned into more time. That time turned into more experience, and then that experience eventually turned into Sarge Custom Rods.
Okay.
So what was that kind of like transition period like, to where like you started building rods and then you got to the point where you were like, you know what, I have a product here, like I have something. Like, what was that kind of time frame?
I really felt like I knew what I wanted to do, and because I'm a fisherman, so I wasn't really indifferent to any of the needs of my customers. I needed the same things they needed too, right? So I knew kind of what I wanted to do and the direction that I wanted to take. I was just in the situation initially that I was in. I was kind of hamstrung or handcuffed in being able to do those things on my own. So that was the jump off point, if you will, was, the idea floated to me of helping me get this thing underway and to be able to do it on my own, under my own name. And so, once that was presented to me and there was I prayed on that and had to think about that for making that kind of commitment, because I was also going through all these other transitions in my life personally, that had nothing to do with business. So I had both of these things going on simultaneously. So it was really scary. I was scared. I was really scared. Yeah.
Those are both really big things.
It was a leap. It was a leap of faith. It was a total leap of faith. So I went into it head first, and everything that transpired after that, it's been a glorious ride. Been a glorious ride. Loved every minute of it. All along the way, it's all of the things that have happened have helped me continue to get better at my craft. And I'm in a position now with the business where I feel like I can do some other things to make a greater awareness of my product and of my brand. So where I haven't done any advertising or anything like that in the past, I'm going to be looking to maybe do some of those things in the near future, as well as come somewhere and introduce my product to a new audience. Like, for instance, I had a guy that told me that I need to come, and I guess it's kind of close to where you guys are at, that Great American Outdoor Show in Pennsylvania. Yeah. Apparently that's a really big consumer show where a lot of people come through there. The power in my product and what I do, it's all in putting it in your hands. Without you putting the rod in your hands, it's hard to just articulate to anyone that you need to spend, $560 to get a ride without you actually putting that thing in your hands, because they are expensive. And that is it is one of those kind of unique items that handling it is almost necessary before you buy it.
For sure. Do you do any like expos or fishing shows or anything like that currently down where you're at?
The only one that I only do one every year. It's the Houston Fishing Show. So that's why I'm kind of looking to go to a new territory or region of the country where nobody knows who I am at all. Just kind of come there and say, here I am. Here's my products. And, if the right group or right set of customers purchase the product, I really feel strongly that it could have the same effect that it's had on our coast, with regards to the grassroots nature or organic nature of the growth by word of mouth. But until you've got those customers there, or until you've got the people that are actually putting it in their hands that want to purchase the product, to start spreading that word, that's the only way that this has worked for me so far. So I'm the advertising game I'm not into, so that I just know that the people part of it actually works. That's where this has all worked for me, is the people aspect, because the customers have totally made this go for me. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, the confluence though. The confluence of
my big booth. You know, I got this beautiful booth. You know, for the fishing show, and come and set up this big beautiful booth, and everybody can come in and check out all the rods and stuff. You know, and once people start seeing it and feeling it and getting involved in it, we're like a big family, the Sarge Custom Rod family. You know, I mean, because once you got like once you go this way, once I've got you in this mix in this family, like I've got you. Like I got your ass. We got so we have to start a relationship, you know, initially, you know, a good one, because once you have your first one, you know, you're going to come back to me for another, you know, and start to build your quiver.
That's literally what I was about to ask you. Well, first I was going to say, you know, you didn't do advertising, marketing, whatever. It's been all word of mouth, which is awesome. And the organic nature of that is awesome. But the confluence, you know, where you could have marketing and that word of mouth meet could just be meteoric, I think, for your company. But what I was going to ask you is,
that's why and honestly, that's why I'm trying to start doing stuff like this. Like this is totally out of the norm for me. Yeah. I've never done this before. I've never got on somebody's podcast before. I've never talked to a couple of guys in the heartland of our nation and talked about fishing before. Heck, I thought y'all were going to come on here and I was going to talk about walleye or your wife mentioned pike. Heck, I had no clue. You know, I was kind of happy that you were saying like crappie and bass, because I at least know what those are. I at least know what those are.
That's awesome. What percentage of your, if you know, I don't know what metrics you track or don't track or whatever, but what percentage of your business is second time buyers? Do you know?
I don't really know. I just, I probably have, I have such a loyal customer base. I get to, you know, I really feel like almost all of them come back for a second.
That's what I was asking. Because I think with the price point you're at, the custom element of it, if they're coming back, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
I mean, really doing, because it's anybody could do that. Say like, oh, I get these whatever rods at Shields for $80. They're good rods. Well, yeah, it's easy to go back and buy another $80 rod. It's not as easy to go back and buy like a premier $500 rod. But if it's that good and people are, that speaks volumes.
And it's so personal. Like you make it, like you said, like the Sarge Custom Rod family, you know, like it's, I don't know. I like that.
Well, I mean, let's be real. Let's talk some real talk about fishing real quick.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're going to, I mean, like this is like real logical thinking. So if you're going to go out and you're going to spend $300 on a pair of loophole sunglasses, and you're going to go out and you're going to spend $100,000+ on a bass boat, and you're going to go out and spend, you know, almost $100,000 on a new Ford Super Duty, and you're going to go out and spend you're going to buy the best electronics for your boat. You're going to buy the best power pole. You're going to buy you're going to get the best of all of these things, but then you're going to shortchange yourself on arguably the most important tool.
Your connection to the actual fish.
Like that in essence, you know, the tool that I'm building essentially is arguably the most important thing that you've got in your hand to do what you love to do. I mean, it's not how you got there, right?
Yeah.
It's not how good you look to get there, you know. None of those things, but that rod really does make a difference. Sure. It really genuinely makes a difference. And I never get tired of people telling me their stories about their rod feelings. Yeah. Like when people are telling me about their feelings, like I can feel, you know, they go on and on. I can feel this, or I can feel that. I'm feeling this. Things they've never felt before, using a fishing rod that they're now experiencing. In essence, they're telling me, without saying the words, this is the most sensitive rod I've ever used in my life. Yeah. Right.
Wow.
Yeah. If you're telling me all these feelings that you're having, right? I love it, man. They're the only feelings that matter, baby. It's only feelings.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
So yeah, no, I mean, I never get tired of hearing that, man. I mean, I think that's the magic of all of it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, the customers, you know, they come back because of the product. They don't come back because of me. You know, like like that rod. They have a personal connection with that rod. Yeah, you're part of the Sarge family, but man, you're making a family of your own, but with this relationship, you know, that you just make.
Absolutely.
No, it really, it's really, it's an awesome experience to connect with customers. You know, not everybody gets to connect with people doing what they love to do on a daily basis, you know, and make a living doing it. And that's what I've been able to do. And it's been really exciting. And I'm looking forward to what's to come.
Yeah, that's dope. Hey, so let me ask you a business question. You know, you've referenced a couple times that your rods are you're not cutting corners, you're not cutting costs, you're doing high end stuff. Was that a choice you made early on with the company? Like, I'm not going to do $100 rods, or how did you end up there?
I build all of them. I mean, it's my time, it's my effort.
Yeah.
So I want to put my time and my effort into building the highest quality product that I can build. Mm-hmm. I'm not like, I literally, like, to me, it doesn't make sense for me to put my focus, my time, and my effort into a lesser product so that I can achieve more sales.
Sure. Yeah.
That's not that. I want to focus my time and my effort into the highest quality product that I can build. Period. That's it. I'm not taking a vertical approach to my marketing with regards to my product set. So you're never going to see Sarge Custom Rods have, you know, like, I've got a $100 price point, and I got a $200 price point, and I got a $300 price point, and then I got a $560 rod and $820 rod. It's not what I do. Yeah. I'm the way that it works for me is the assortment of products. So I'm only going after a small percentage of fishermen with the high-end products that I'm selling. So in order for it to work for me on a genuine level, you know, I have to offer a lot of products in that space, different products. That's where the customers feel comfortable coming back for a second or a third or a fourth ride. It's because they know they can come and fill another spot in their quiver. And if I only had just a certain amount of products in that space, then I would not be able to flourish and be able to spread my wings and do well. So instead of me going after a greater number of fishermen by producing products in a lower price range, which you see most companies do in fishing rods, I'm only going after just a small percentage of customers who appreciate and want to spend the money that they've got in their pocket to buy the finest equipment they can to fish with. I mean, and that's kind of how I am. I mean, I don't look like a whole lot. I don't like what I wear every day. I'm pretty scrappy. It's like, this is like the nicest stuff I wear. Like I've got on right now that I actually went to go fishing in earlier, but like, I really don't look like it, but I got really cool fishing stuff, right? Like, I mean, I will spend on my fishing gear. Like, that's where, and that's how I feel a lot of my customers are like that too. You know, I mean, they love fishing so much that, they're not scared or afraid to spend money on what they love to do. Especially if it makes them feel like it provides them an advantage, or that that they conquer what we all are attempting to conquer as fishermen, which is what's between our ears, right? Like if you take out all of the variables and you know that you've just purchased the best rod that you can possibly purchase in your mind, then you're already winning.
Yeah, that alone will set up a lot of confidence in an angler for sure. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, your rods look really good. I've never obviously held one, played with one, reeled in a fish on one, but they look beautiful on your website. All the options. It's Sarge's custom rod. So how custom can people get with it?
I'm not real custom in terms of a bunch of decorative wrapping and stuff like that.
But I mean, like on your website, there's a lot of different colors and
I offer a couple of colors, you know, on each rod. So like a primary color option, and then like a secondary or accent color to bring it all together. So all of the rods are wrapped essentially the same, just with different colors. Yeah. I do that as well for my tackle shops here that carry my product on the coast. So I've got shops from Southwest Louisiana all the way down to Harlingen, Texas, in the valley, and everywhere in between. And all of those shops that carry the product, they do a great job with all of it, for sure.
That's really cool. So I have a few more questions if I can keep firing away, if that's all right. Sarge.
Without a doubt.
I love this whole thing. One of the things I was looking at on your website is your warranty. Tell me about
30 seconds or 30 feet, whatever comes first.
like a dirty used car salesman.
No, like in the black and white, it's like, you know, it's $225 to have your rod replaced, and you only get one replacement. Is kind of how it reads. But you know, I'm a fisherman. I just try to treat every situation with discretion. I always tell my customers, look, man, I'm going to treat you more fairly than I'm going to treat myself until I deem you to be a problem.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. I'm just so curious about this stuff because, like, you know, you're not, no disrespect by what I'm about to say, but you're not Luz or, you know, like Shakespeare, some giant company. And so I'm just always curious, like when you start deciding, okay, how am I going to price my rods when I make them? How am I going to offer colors on wraps? What am I going to do about warranty stuff?
How do you
choose what you chose? Yeah.
The color stuff and all those different color options and the different pictures that may be on Facebook or on the website or whatever that has like a bunch of different rods and there's just all different colors. You know, I do that to catch the fisherman, if you will. You know, I mean, when you go into shop at a tackle store and you go to a section that has the Sarge rods, they're all different colors. Like they don't all look the same. They're all different they're different rod models, all different colors. And you're just kind of standing there like, oh man, look, you start thumbing through everything. So in most companies have a uniformity to the looks of their rods. You know what I mean? While mine all look the same in a uniform manner, mine are not the same colors, so they're not the same, essentially. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's how passionate you are about this.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's for sure. What are your favorite components to use? Like, do you prefer to build a rod with cork grips or the EVA foam, or, you know, like
I offer both the cork and the EVA. I have probably a 70%, 65 to 70% customers still prefer cork over the EVA material. My rod pricing is really broke down by the guide selection. The recoil guides are arguably the most popular premium guide in our coastal waters. They're nickel titanium. They don't rust, so salt water, they're perfect for the salt. They don't have any inserts in them, and they're flexible, so they have a durability that you guys probably would love as bass fishermen. And those rods are $560. The rods with the Fuji Torzite guides, which is their flagship guide, those rods are $820.
You know what I love? That you're not even like afraid to say how much it is. Like you believe in your product and you know how hard you worked on it. And you're like, yeah, it's $560. Like that's just what it is because this is what it's worth. And I love that.
I mean, and I'll tell you a story
about believe in it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a quick story about that too. So, you know, like when I first started, these rods were $350 when I first started. First of all, let's hit the rewind button to me buying my first premium fishing rod, you know, back in the mid 90s, right? When G Loomis came out with the GLX. Okay.
Yeah.
My first really bad to the bone rod was a 7-foot GLX pop and rod medium. Okay. And that had the Fuji Alkanite guides on it. And it was $325 back then.
Yeah.
In the mid-90s. This is like maybe late 90s, right?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And so today, their premium guide is called Torzite, right? It is, and I started out at $350 with my rods. Then I had a couple of small price increases, but prior to this last big price increase, the rods were $430 for the recoil guides and $580 for the Fuji Torzite guides. I was getting hit with inflation, but I was working on this transition project for the blanks. And I knew there would be a price increase, having my blanks manufactured here in the USA. So once that transpired at the beginning of last year, not this year, but last year is whenever I changed the price of the rods after I knew what that piece of the puzzle was. And we were having dinner one Sunday prior to the fishing show last year here at the house. And my mom, I was just kind of giving the family a rundown of what the new prices were. And my mom, like, she stood up from the table and she was like, I mean, she like cuss worded and everything. She's like, son, no, who in their right mind is going to buy a fishing rod for that amount of money? And the same thing I told her, I'm about to tell y'all, like, I was like, Mom, the math that I did to come up with the price is the same math that I did when Sarge Custom Rods started. I didn't like the math that I did. It's not different. I didn't do the math is no different. Like it's the same math. And if I'm using the same math, this is what this is what I should be selling the product for. Yeah. And so, that's just how it has to be. I am doing this to make a living, but trust me when I tell you, it's the fairest price that I can provide for the product that I'm building. On it to put it at a retail level, and to be able to have customers to be able to go to a retail shop to purchase this product. It's the price that it has to be.
Yeah, that makes sense. I used to work I don't anymore, but I used to work at Shields, and Shields employee discount is cost plus a certain percentage, which I don't think I'm supposed to talk about, but whatever. And so very often, if I was slow in my department, I would look up fishing stuff. And there's a company, I don't know if they do saltwater stuff. I'm honestly not sure, but a Japanese company called Mega Bass that I've been a fan of for a super long time. And I'm looking up some of their lures because it's pretty expensive stuff. And I'm thinking like, a $30 crankbait, that's got to be like $8 our cost. And I look it up and our cost is like $26 or something. And I'm like, oh, it's not actually this giant markup. It's that they're making super quality crap, and the components they're using to build it, the paint, the finish, all that adds up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want something premium, you pay a premium price for it. This isn't a thing that you're getting bent over on price wise. It's just actually worth the money.
It's all aspects of business, though. It's not even just the product, right? It's everything to do with business. So I buy, whenever for shipping, I buy just a for example deal. I buy a roll, a 250-foot roll of bubble wrap that's 2 foot wide and 250 feet long. It's a big roll. It's a giant roll. Sure. Yeah. And 3 years ago, that roll cost me $130 every time I bought it. 3 weeks ago, it cost $248. So every aspect of business, it doesn't matter if it's the toilet paper in the bathroom. It don't matter if it's the bubble wrap for shipping rods out. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's the cork. It doesn't matter. Every aspect of it all went up. Those Fuji Torzite guides. I got to meet those guys for the first time. The Fuji guys, they were actually at the Houston Fishing Show. They had a booth at the fishing show, so I got to meet those guys for the first time. But just for an example, the price increase was so dramatic on that particular guide for those rods that guide itself got a price increase 3 different times in 14 months. Wow. So, and it wasn't the titanium of the frame of the guide, but rather the insert material is the same material they use in chip manufacturing. So there was a lot of pressure put on that. So the price just went through the roof. So whenever people get those guides, like I call that jewelry for your fishing rod, you know, those the Fuji Torzite guides are above and beyond the smoothest guide that a fishing line has ever been through. Like there's not even a question about it. It's so smooth.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good. So I'm sorry. I'm keep on asking questions. I'm really into this. Nate, you got anything else? I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off, homie.
No, you're good. Yeah, go ahead. Shoot.
Oh, okay. So if somebody is listening to this and they're like, dude, I like this guy's vibe. I like his positivity. How can people find your stuff? How do they start the process of buying from you? What does that look like if they're not able to go into a local tackle shop?
SargeCustomRods.com is my website. My phone number is 512-913-1334. You know, anybody, you can my phone, call me anytime, right? Like I got customers that message me, you know, through the various social medias, emails, text messages, phone calls, you know, it don't matter. I'm always open.
I love that. All right. How'd you catch them today? How did fishing go?
Okay. So we weren't going to put the boat in the water. We were going to the Anahuac Wildlife Refuge to walk in on the north shoreline of East Galveston Bay. The water did not look good at all. We didn't even wet a line.
Wow.
Yeah, we sat there for a few minutes and drank a couple beers, and you know, just had a good time bullshitting for a few minutes, and then we came home and started some crawfish boudin dip.
When I dip, you dip, we dip. Yeah.
When I dip, you dip, we dip.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, and I'll send that. I think I've got that saved on my phone, so I'll send that to you, Jordan. And I'll need to get your number too, Nate. I don't have your number.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, this has been really cool. So like I obviously don't know nothing about y'all or y'all's podcast or nothing, so I feel kind of foolish like coming on here without even knowing except for what Stinky did with y'all. So I certainly am going to be watching myself now, and I really do appreciate you guys having me on here, man. It's been really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah. Just super fun conversation for sure. Absolutely. So thank you, man, for being on. We really, really appreciate you. And you got anything else you want to say? Anything else to the people? Ask any questions? Anything at all, Sarge?
No, man. I just appreciate y'all having me on. No, if anybody hey, y'all got my phone number. Y'all can write it on the bathroom stall, 512-913-1334. You know, I mean, if you need to get a nice rod, call this guy right here. You can put it on the, it's actually, my number's probably in a couple of bathroom stalls in South Texas.
Right.
Okay.
But, you know, I mean,
no, advertising.
I mean, it's like social media. It's a free platform.
Yep.
You know, the stall is a free platform. All right, Sarge, we're gonna take you out of here. We appreciate you so much, man. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
It was so nice meeting each one of y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah.
Well.
Hey, we appreciate it.
All right, y'all have a great night.
All right, have a good night in
Take
China.
it easy.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so that was Sarge Upchurch. I think the thing I take away more than anything from that feller is what you said.
What?
He's passionate.
Oh, yeah.
Like he legitimately gives a crap about what he's doing.
Yeah.
And to me, if I'm going to spend, you know, because I mean, that was one, like something he referenced. Gary Loomis, that's G. Loomis, obviously.
Yep.
People, it's kind of like Dobbins nowadays, but in a little bit of a different way. Like the people who knew that Gary Loomis was building the best rods he was capable of building.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were expensive, but people knew that he was like not going 8 out of 10. He was going 10 out of 10 with effort, materials, manufacturing processes, all of that. And Sarge's vibe and his passion feels very much like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like maybe his crap's expensive, but he ain't cutting a single corner. Like there's no corners cut to be found.
Yeah. The energy that he brought, you know, for us, like like I said, the passion, everything about what he's doing, like he's doing it to the best of his ability, and it was without a doubt the most clear picture you could paint at all of any type. You know, it was very impressive. Like, super dope. So yeah,
the jalapeno ranch sounds so dope. The crawfish boudin dip sounds so dope, because I've had boudin sausage. I've never had boudin in a different form, and I love eating crawfish, but also just like his overall vibe. I like that he wasn't, like you said, also he wasn't afraid to just throw the prices out on stuff. No, you know, it's like
believes in it.
Yeah, it's like it drives me bat crap crazy when you go to look for like a new truck or something, and you go to, I don't know, LolaJohnsonFord.com or something, and it's like, we got a 2024 Ford F-250 diesel King Ranch trim, whatever, call for price. Oh, F that. I'm not buying from you. I'm literally not going to buy from you, because I don't like that call for price or come in, whatever. Like he's telling the price on it because he's not ashamed of it, because he knows the effort and the cost that goes into it. I really want to get one, dude.
I know.
Yeah. Everything made by hand, and, you know, hand selected products and components. Like, man,
USA made now, everything, even the blanks, awesome. Which, man, not to be a, what do they call that, whistleblower, but to anybody listening here, a lot of the companies that you think, especially in the fishing space, are American made, are not American made. Many of them, even companies that I really like, even companies that I thought for the longest time, it's like made in America. Nope. And now they're legally, maybe they always have been, but now they're more strictly enforced. They're legally obligated to tell you that they're not actually made. Like the wording is important. Like the other day, and I'm not gonna say the company, Nate knows what it is, because I sent him a picture of the rod. It was a rod that I've been excited to see. I've been excited to feel in my hand, because he's dead right. Like he's dead on the nuts right about that. Like it's all about the feel in your hand on a rod when you pick it up, you know. And me and Nate, one of our favorite things back in the day at Gander Mountain is when somebody would pick up a rod, they pick up a fishing rod off the rack, and in order to test it on whether or not they liked it, they just shook the living crap out of it. Oh, that'll work. What'll work? What fishing situation does that ever apply?
The first time I saw you like test a rod in a store, test it, is that what you say? I don't know. And you're like bending it on the floor. I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna snap. I didn't know that's how you did it.
Yeah.
But now I know.
Yeah, people would pick them up and just shake the heavens out of it. Like, oh, that's a good one. Good at what? What method are you ever reeling in a fish where you're convulsing like that? Really, an easy way. Here's a little tip for people.
Sorry, one of our kids is throwing up. I need
to. We've got a text. One of our kiddos is not feeling well, so Lola's gonna go in and be mom. So we love you. Thank you, Lola, for doing that. Honestly, this is real life. Yeah, this is honestly, this is just real life. So. Oh gosh, poor thing. So one of the ways, a long time ago, I don't know if I'm allowed to say who it was, but the owner of a rather large rod and reel company stopped in at Gander Mountain, he and his wife, and I got to chat them up for quite a while. They were big then, they're much bigger now. And he was talking me through everything about rods and reels and manufacturing specs and blah, 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 blah. And we started joking about that. He and I did, joking about how people would shake the living bejesus out of rods. Like, oh yeah, that'll, like when a dad nails something down and goes, that ain't going nowhere, you know, whatever. But he was like, the best way to do it is to flip a rod, you know, kind of onto its, if it's a spinning rod, flip it upside down so the guides are up towards you. If it's a bait casting rod, it's already like that. And you just push the kind of the back spine like towards the tip on the ground, and then just kind of ease into it. So you can feel the action, like where the flex is, how stiff it is, how stiff it isn't, how far down the rod it's going to bend, all that. That's really how you do it. You kind of lay it and kind of push into it to get the bend in it. And then you can kind of feel from there. You don't shake the living bejesus out of it. That doesn't teach you anything.
Yeah, no, and it's a good way. You can kind of, you know, I'll kind of drag the rod tip like across the ground just real lightly, and you can kind of feel the sensitivity like through the rod.
Doing super lightly touching.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, just real light, kind of just touch it on the ground. You can feel that you know, through the rod, and you can actually, if you handle a few different rods, you can feel the difference in the graphite components, or in the the quality of the reel seat, or how it's designed. You can feel all that stuff through the handle. So it's slick little way to test out rods, and like you said, with the pushing the rod, just slightly pushing it into the ground, seeing where the tip is bending, or how fast the action may be, or how parabolic it may be, if it's loading up into mid portion of the rod. Like, all that stuff is very noticeable in that little trick, as you said.
And keep in mind what you're wanting it for. So if it's a crankbait rod, you want way more parabolic, which means like bowed, kind of parabolic bend deeper into the shaft of the whole thing. If it's a swim bait, like a hard swim bait rod, obviously you don't want it to bend like that. So keep that in mind as you're doing it. And one thing I do always do is, if I'm at Shields, Cabela's, local tackle shop, whatever it is, if I'm bending a rod to feel it, I'm always, just out of respect, I'm always going to try and either be on carpet or take it to a rug, or I'm not just going to go jamming it onto hard floor. I'm not gonna scratch up a rod tip. Like, that's just a butthole move. But anyway, I would love to feel how Sarge custom rods feel. I bet they're pretty legit. And like I said, if you go
they definitely seem like it.
If you go to Sarge, is it Sarge? Hold on, I'm gonna look it up real quick while we're sitting, because I want to make sure I get it right. I can't remember if it's Sarge or Sarge's. Sarge custom.
Yeah, Sarge.
Yeah, just Sarge.com. Yep, sargecustoms.com. So it's not Sarge's, it's SARGECUSTOMS, sargecustoms.com. If you go to his website and just scroll through some of the photos and stuff, the rods look beautiful. Like, legitimately, they look awesome. The wraps look tight. They look great, man. So anyway, Nate, you got anything else you want to throw in here before we call it?
I really don't. Outside of another thanks to Sarge Upchurch for the energy he brought on tonight's podcast. Like, that was awesome. Learning about some jalapeno ranch, some boudin dip. I'm definitely gonna check those. I'm definitely gonna check those out. So
the cracker in the garbage bag.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Yes, I think I've seen that done maybe a couple times, maybe on like a TikTok or something. But I've heard it's amazing. I'll definitely be giving that a try here real soon.
Yeah. And if you're looking for something a little different, maybe you're a tournament bass fisherman, you're looking for something a little different, like he said, that is your actual connection to the fish you're trying to reel in. This could be a really cool route, like to go with a guy who stands behind his product. I mean, he just gave his flipping cell phone number out on the internet on a podcast. Like, he's obviously not afraid to stand behind the stuff that he's making. But pretty premium, awesome, good stuff from a dude who gives a crap, who's willing to spend more and subsequently charge more for the stuff being made in America. Back when I used to work at Motion Raceworks, we made a shirt that I was so stoked on that I designed, and on the back it said "Made in America" by Americans. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like it's made here by people from here, like keeping, I don't know. I think that's dope, because it costs more to do that. So shout outs to him. Other than that, Loophole Optics, we're super pumped to be a part of the team. Make sure you check that out. Their website, I mean, it's Loophole, obviously it's a huge company. Their website is incredibly legit, incredibly dope. Be sure to check out the whole crew at workingclassbowhunter.com. Again, I don't know if I'm allowed to even talk about this yet, but we're a part of the Working Class Bowhunter podcast network, and we're adding another podcast to the team with a couple fellas that are articulate, funny, genuine dudes, and they're absolute killers. It's a hunting podcast, so that should be dope. But like always, man, awesome. Whatever you got going on in your life, good, bad, ugly, if you're fishing, if you're hunting, whatever, everything, your work, your personal life, your interactions with your friends, they always go better when you choose to look at it with a positive mindset, because positivity is worth the effort. We will catch you on the next one.
Peace.
Bye-bye.